everything just fell perfectly into place. And folks, this is way better than we thought. As following what was a crazy game yesterday, we now have some brand new updates ahead of this evening's must-win game that not only has big implications going forward, but folks, things have lined up perfectly for the Jays. These updates are very encouraging. I want to stay tuned for that, as well as a few other things on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into it all, if you're enjoying the Daily Jays content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You guys have been absolute beasts with the support, folks. And a lot to go over today. Now, I didn't have a post-game video yesterday. I'll briefly go over the game at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But folks, it was a huge game. And just to kind of, before we get into things here, Jays won 13-4. Bieber was fantastic. And the last sentence is crucial here. They're down 2-1 now in the ALCS, and it feels a lot different than it did just 24 hours ago. And folks, this is even better than we thought, and it's not the fact that they won the game. It's not the fact that they, had an offensive explosion, which, again, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I guess experience has been up and down this specific series. But folks, it is now Max Scherzer on the hill, and he had some comments recently, but we also have an update surrounding Chris Bassitt you're going to stay tuned for. I'm kind of very cautiously optimistic about Max Scherzer start following some of these comments, following some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that has been going on, and this is his do or, this is his make or break moment, basically, for this team. Now, Max Scherzer is going today. We know yesterday a ton of players pitched extremely well. A ton of players hit extremely well. But let's dive into Max Scherzer a little bit here. Now, John Schneider came out and, spoke recently about why Max Scherzer is, of course, on the mound tonight. And there's a lot of different reasons. Of course, they needed to have another starting pitcher. But let's dive into a quote that he had just, I believe, yesterday. I don't want to put too much stock into this. Look, you have hiccups all the time, ailments all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've had something, gone out there and pitched well and won. So I don't want to sit here and go backwards and blame injuries for any way I pitched. When I take the mound, I take the mound, and I have that attitude. I'm going to win no matter what. I'm not going to point the finger at anything ailment-wise for why I was pitching bad. I was pitching bad, but I've used this time to try to get fully healthy and get everything right. And that last sentence is encouraging. And I would not blame any of you if you guys come out and you leave in the comments about how you don't trust him at all. He could blow up, have a horrible series, have a horrible game, of course, tonight. But I'm going to take the optimistic approach because, folks, it is a 2-1 series. And what felt like a lost series to a lot of people literally 24 hours ago has now not only flipped on its head. Yes, the Mariners are still favorites, all these different things. The Jays have a job to do. You're going up against Luis Castillo, who has dominated the Jays in the playoffs. I have full faith in this team. The offense exploded, but Max Scherzer has a chance now. And if there was ever a pitcher that hasn't pitched in this long who could come out and win you a game, I believe it's Max Scherzer. He's a Hall of Famer. And if there's anyone who also knows how to use his body, how to use time off, how to actually fix some of his mistakes, if you read that first paragraph, he's basically saying he has no excuse for how bad he pitched. But he's saying that injury was absolutely bugging him and that, he was struggling immensely because of the injury. He had no command of his off-speed pitches. He was leaving meatballs down the middle, whether it was fastballs, whether it was off-speeds. He had no way to get lefties out, and that's why they didn't have him on the roster against the Yankees. But he says he's fully healthy now. He's gotten everything right physically and mentally and, of course, tangibly with his pitches. And I have full faith. It's better than we thought here, this quote, at least for me, in the sense of he is now going to go out there and maybe this will age horribly and he'll have a horrible game tonight, right? Could happen. He is better. Yes, the Mariners hit a ton of home runs, but they don't have as many lefty, huge sluggers that the Yankees do. And you're in a very good spot, at least in my mind, for Max Scherzer. Let's look at some of his peripherals. They haven't been great this year, right? His velocity is down, all these different things, 5.19 ERA. This is a Hall of Famer. This is somebody who knows how to pitch in high leverage situations. And I like our chances. I really do. We know how good the offense was yesterday. We know how good Shane Bieber was yesterday. And for Shane Bieber to come out there after getting smacked in the face in the first inning, the crowd was absolutely roaring. A 2-run home run from Julio Rodriguez, a meatball down the middle, inside corner. He was supposed to paint the outside corner or ran in. He recovered, and he saved this team, basically saved their season. With Vladdy going 4 for 4, him looking back, Clement being the best postseason hitter in history average-wise so far throughout the postseason. The offense just needed one jolt, and I think yesterday was the jolt. And if Max Scherzer, folks, can come out and put up a competent start, the bullpen is well rested for tonight's game. Of course, they had an off day 2 days ago. They barely used the bullpen yesterday. He was the first starter for the Jays this postseason. He goes 6 innings. What a opportunity for Max Scherzer. You can say whatever you want about how good or bad he's been, right? This year, it's been bad. This is his chance to go ahead and do it. And these comments are very encouraging to me because not only is he basically, again, we know he was dealing with an injury, his thumb thing. He's ready to go. And this team, I think, is ready to go. They were down 2-0. They came back. I mean, Vladdy looked great. Springer had a home run. Alejandro Kirk had a home run. Addison Barger had a home run. Andres Jimenez. Ride that momentum and do what they did against the Yankees. That was the team they looked like, of course, yesterday against the New York Yankees. And I think they're all the way back. Let me know. Do you believe in Max Scherzer? Do these comments get you excited? Do you think he's going to go out there and, fail? There's a lot of people who are saying, pretty hyped. There's a lot of people who aren't hyped. And I expect a lot of you guys in the comments to be kind of split here. I am just ready to see a very good start from Scherzer. And I believe it. I really believe he's going to go out there, velocity high, well rested. You can see here from Joshua, I'm calling a midseason Scherzer performance tomorrow. The kind of performance from when I was only half joking that he should start game one. There was conversations from me, a bunch of people, about how Scherzer should be a game one starter because A, his stuff looked electric. He then got hurt a little bit, was dealing with some injuries, came back and looked horrible. If he can be any semblance of what he was throughout his career, or even the first half of this year, the Jays are in very good shape. Okay, a few other things go over in this episode, but again, I'm super excited for Max Scherzer to start tomorrow, and I'm definitely in the minority. I don't expect you guys to agree with me in the comments. I'm making this video because I'm very curious to see what you guys think about it. If they go ahead and take game, let's say they take the game tonight, even if they don't, winning yesterday was so huge. Because again, you're going up against Luis Castillo now, who pretty bad numbers as well. Peripheral-wise, had a decent ERA, better than last year. Velocity is down. I expect the Jays to go out there and jump on him early, right? I really do. But also, if you, by winning yesterday, you guarantee yourself a Kevin Gausman start. If you win one of the next two games, you can bring it back home. Now, they struggled back home earlier in the series. Throughout the whole year, they've been electric at home, right? You have to go out there and take care of business today. Must-win game, like I said. And Luis Castillo, albeit good, you're playing Brian Wu, their best starter, in Game 5. But if you can take care of business today and get the momentum shifted heading into Game 5, which will then be like a must-win for both teams. And when I say must-win, I mean, at this point, going down 3-1 would be very rough, right? Still possible. Brian Wu is going to be coming off of a very interesting injury. He might not be good for a ton of pitches. He might not be fully worked up. He might have bad command. Win today's game, put all the pressure back, and hit some home runs. Because over the last 4 postseasons, teams are 95-20 when out homering opponents. And you can see it here. They did it yesterday, of course, the Jays, but also the Mariners are a home run hitting team. And for Max Scherzer to go out there, of course, you're going to face some lefties that are good sluggers. I mean, we're talking about, Josh Naylor, not necessarily known as be a slugger. Cal Raleigh, switch hitter, absolutely is going to be tough to pitch around him. But if Scherzer stuff is looking good, I have full faith in it, right? And, Randy Arozarena kind of snapped out of his cold spell with a home run there yesterday off Yariel Rodriguez, and then Cal got a home run. It's all up to Max Scherzer. The eyes are going to be on him. He's also going to have a short leash. John Schneider, rather, is going to have a short leash. You have Louis Varland rested, all these guys. You can have a pseudo bullpen game if things get out of hand. But I have full faith in the offense. And also, which is even better than we thought here, Bassitt's ready to go whenever. He might be in play tomorrow. As crazy as it sounds. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. For me, I'm ready to go. I have faith in Max Scherzer. Because guess what, folks? At the end of the day, I never thought in a million years we'd be here right now with the Toronto Blue Jays team that we fielded at the start of the year. Why not have some faith? This Jays team has showed us every single time and time again for about a year now that they're doing the unthinkable. They do the crazy. And hopefully they take care of business tonight and force another game at home at Rogers Center. You guys are beasts. Cheers.